State. They'd only been to one NCAA tournament in its history. We go there. They'd only finished third or better in their league like twice, and we helped build that program into a really, really good program. And I just saw a lot of great things here. At the end of the day, as a coach, you got to get really good players, right? And you need to be somewhere where there's fertile recruiting, and that's here. They're in right here in Kansas City, but certainly within 300 miles. There's a lot of talent, and we got to do our job to get them here. And I think those all – and you had to believe in the support. And I've been in enough places where once you start winning, people will come. It's kind of like Field of Dreams. If you build it, if you build it, people will come, people will show up, people will be excited. With 80% of our alums living in Kansas City, we just got to give them something that they're excited about, and hopefully we can do that sooner rather than later.
Coach, real quick, you talked about the local basketball. Well, the basketball that you can get to is high school and junior college. You have Johnson County, which was number one, just got upset by a little school up in Trenton, Missouri, North Central Missouri College. All the junior college basketball around here, KCK. Have you been able to reach into that market?
Yeah, I don't know if I can get believe me, we're recruiting several guys from these junior colleges. I can't get into their names because it'd be a violation, but we're certainly doing our work. We did sign the Anthony Pennington. I think because he's signed, I can give that out. We can release that, and he's from North Kansas City High School, and so we're trying to build it and get guys here. There's been too many guys, the Ben Richardsons and the guys that went to Loyola that took them to a Final Four. There's been too many guys that have gotten away. Clayton Custer and Richardson and those guys. So we've got to get involved both with the high school guys and the great junior college basketball here in the area.
Me? Whoa. Oh. All right. I'll say this I'm a UMKC alum.
Awesome.
So I was excited to have you on. And the cool thing is, I'm 05. The cool thing is to kind of see how much money and how much thought has gone to the university is a lot different than it was. Even while I was going there, they were building up a lot of stuff. So I went to the Henry Block Business School. And so I got to and they were building the new dorms, and at the time when I was there,
right.
And I drove by there the other day, it's built up so much, and I think adding you on there is just another building block. And like you're saying, it's cool to see how UMKC has transitioned from being kind of more of an academic, we're an academic school with really great ties into Kansas City to they're moving towards the sports and all that stuff. So it's really really kind of cool to see that because. Yeah, just to build it up. So just want to throw it out there. I'm one of the alums that's
awesome.
Happy that you're here.
No, well, I appreciate that. And the Block School of Business is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then they're adding to the engineering school. I mean, you're right. The development, Chancellor Aguilar is doing an unbelievable job there. Dr. Martin is, even if you just come to Sweeney now, what he's done with the lobby area, the hallway area, our women just won a great game at home over Missouri, over their women. And so, I mean, there's a lot of great things going on. I think the move back to the Summit League, just from an expense standpoint, we're not going to be in the WAC anymore after this year. So from a travel, we're going to save almost $1 million a year department-wide, and we'll create some more rivalries. Oral Roberts in Tulsa, Nebraska, Omaha, which isn't far. We'll have some more rivalries to get more people excited about those games as opposed to – and it's not – the WAC's a great league. It's just not a good league for us. It's kind of like dating. I'm sure we've all dated until we met our wives. You guys are both married. Like, we've all dated a girl and been like, she's great, or maybe they're like, you're great, but you're just not the one. The WAC's a great league. It's just not a good league for us. The location, there's great teams, but when your travel partner is Chicago State, because if you know what travel partner means, it's supposed to be the next closest school to you, and it's in Chicago, that tells you just geographically it's not a good fit.
Yeah.
Now we have Oral Roberts, we have Nebraska, Omaha, we've got all the schools in the Dakotas, we've got Western Illinois, which isn't a terrible trip. So it's an exciting time for athletics, and then obviously what you talked about. I mean, the business school, and then beyond that, our medical school, our law school, our dental school is one of the best in the country. So it really is a special place, and hopefully getting in at a good time.
Yeah, I think so. So you had kind of talked about it a little bit, kind of building up programs, and something we'd like to talk about on the show quite often when we're talking to coaches is how did you build your culture or put your particular stamp on the program?
Well, it was really challenging because when I took over, as soon as they let Coach Richardson go, 10 kids 10 of the 11 players that could return put themselves immediately in the transfer portal. And I think they did that out of their love and care for Kareem. And that says a lot about that relationship. But then when you come in and you take over, it's not like when you first walk in the door you can say, hey, this is the way it's going to be. It's my way or the highway. You got 10 guys in the portal. You know, you've got to kind of decide. And so we all went through kind of a 2-week tryout period. And I certainly didn't shy away from exactly how we're going to run it, the expectation academically. We had the best summer GPA we've ever had. I mean, I think everything matters. You know, I think everything matters when it comes to winning. We've done a good job recruiting. We got 2 pretty good grad transfers, the kid Jashir Hardnett from BYU and then Javen White from Clemson. And it's been up and down. This is one of the most challenging non-conference schedules I've ever been a part of. When you look at the travel and then the quality of the teams that we're playing, and that's good because that's going to make us better for our league. Yep. And you know, obviously Saturday's game is the height of that because they're arguably the best team in the country with one of the best coaches to ever do it.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so it's really cool to hear that. A lot of times we see when we talk to these coaches and they come in, it's all about kind of getting the kids to buy in. And that sounds like with that 2-week trial, it's kind of what
that's what we did.
We
had to get to those 5 or 6 kids that stayed, and then we had to go out and recruit. And you know, building your culture isn't something that it's something that is done every day. You know, you've got to show those kids that you care about them, and more than just can they make a basket, can they guard the ball. You know, you've got to show that there's care, and you've got to show that there's discipline too. You know, they're 18 to 22. We can all remember when we were 18 to 22. Yep. They need to be held accountable. You know, and they don't look like they're 18 to 22 because they're big and they're strong, but they still can very much act like they're 18 to 22, and they need to be held accountable. They need to understand the standard of the program, and you know, there'll certainly be some ups and downs with that. But your culture is something that you're fighting for every day with your staff and with your people. That's an everyday fight. That's 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That never changes.
So when as you were taking over and hiring your assistants, what type of kid did you say, like, this is the type of kid we want? I mean, obviously we know the stuff, you know, we want to shoot high percentage shots and all those things, but what type of kid did you want to become a Kansas City Roo?
I think it's really important to know yourself as a head coach. And so I think one of the things for me is I'm a gym rat. You know, I'm a coach's son. I've been in this profession my whole life, and I think you got to recruit guys where it's their passion, you know, and sometimes the guys don't know if it's their passion until they get there because it is different. The jump is big. And so I think number one is you got to find guys that, like, basketball is their love. You know, you go to college and you can realize it's not really my love, and I'm not the right guy then. If it's not your passion, if you're not going to put in the extra film work, if you're not going to come in and get shots up or do the deal that you need to do in improving your skill game, eating the right way. Like, for me, it really is, it's my passion. And so it's got to be theirs too. And I think that's important. In terms of, like, the type of actual player, we want to have two different guys at every – so if you get a center that's really athletic and can rebound but is maybe not – because if you get a center that's really athletic, rebound, can shoot threes and is skilled, we're probably not getting him. He's probably going to KU, right? And so we're going to try to maybe get a center that's really athletic and can rebound and defend, but maybe he's not overly skilled. And then we're going to get another center that's overly skilled but maybe not a great athlete, maybe can really shoot it, so we can play different kinds of ways. You know, that's important as we move forward. We haven't been able to address all those problems, all those issues in year one. But as we move forward, and like if you get a point guard, one that's maybe more traditional, run your team, or a guy that's a downhill, attack the paint. So we kind of want to have both. You know, we want to try to have multiple ways to play against different people. And it doesn't mean those 2 point guards can't play together, and it doesn't mean those 2 centers can't play together. But you have to have different kinds of guys because of, you know, the strengths and weaknesses of your opponents, and you got to be able to take advantage of it. You don't want to be locked in to only playing one way.
That's fantastic. What are some of the challenges, as you know, we talked about this early season schedule, you know, being a big challenge. You listed off the teams that you guys have been playing, and you know it's tough. But what are some other challenges you've faced kind of in that first few months as you're trying to set up the program and get things ready to kick off year one?
Yeah, you know, our schedule, you know, we've done some good things. We went to the Bahamas and made it to the championship game. We beat George Washington, an Atlantic 10 team, and then we beat East Carolina, an American Conference team, which the school had never done. And then we lost to a really good Liberty team in the championship game who was, I think, a 12 or a 13 in the tournament last year and beat Mississippi State in the first round. Then you come home and you play Western Illinois, and then you got Iowa State. You got McNeese, you get Kansas, you get Toledo. And that's good for us. That's good for our team to grow. But it's a delicate balance when you play tough people that the kids understand. I wasn't happy. We were down 4 with 4 minutes to go at Hilton at Iowa State with a chance to win, and the next thing you know, we just kind of bailed. Certainly credit Iowa State, but we didn't play well. I think we got satisfied with looking up and it's a close game. And it's a fine line when you lose of making sure kids have confidence, but also understanding that the losing part isn't acceptable. And then when you win a couple games, you can't allow them to get swelled heads, right? And so those are kind of the challenges that our staff and our guys, together, we're trying to navigate through.
I mean, when I lived in Des Moines, Iowa for about 5 years, so I went to some games where KU had some really good guys, Cole Aldridge and that group, and playing at Hilton, and they lost some games there. So, I mean, I know that's a tough place to play. How was that experience for you and your guys?
I mean, it was great. It wasn't as full that day as it can be, but it was still rocking. It wasn't like it was empty, and it's a tough place. And I give our guys a lot of credit because there was a couple times where it was 7 or 8, and in those games it can start to go either way. And our guys, we had a 4-point lead in the first half, late in the first, and the second half it was a 1-point game. It was with 10 to go. It was a 4-point game with 4 to go. We just couldn't get over the hump, but it's a great environment, and they've got a good team. 4 days later they beat Seton Hall, and they'll compete for sure. They're an NCAA tournament team, and they'll be top half of the Big 12. Where I don't know, whether they win it second, third, fourth, but they'll be right there in a great league. It's one of the best leagues in all of basketball.
How are some of the different ways that the Roo's athletic staff has kind of brought you in and welcomed you in?
Oh, I mean, everybody's amazing. I mean, Dr. Martin, Ursula Gurney, who's our senior women's administrator, athletic director, is terrific. Director of compliance, Randy's awesome. Our training staff, Maddie Richardson, Amelia Howard is our director of academics. She's really good. It is a family atmosphere. All of our offices are pretty much next to each other. My office, then Coach Hoyt in women's basketball, and then our volleyball coach, and then women's basketball assistants, men's basketball assistants, and and then the senior administration. We're all in the same little corridor, and so we see each other every day. We pick each other's brains every day, and I think that's important. That's invaluable because you do need you need a fresh set of eyes. And I think one of the things an administration does is they're the 10,000-foot view, of every program. And so you need to hear what they're saying, listen to what they're saying, and digest that. But it's been great. The people are amazing. It's a great place. I think the one thing is that everybody's hungry to win, and that's important because you need everybody to be hungry to win when you've never won before. You can't have anybody that's not on that page. The hunger to win is really important.
Yeah, you mentioned that you kind of have always steered toward building up that program, being part of the first, group to do those things. And, the Lady Roos you mentioned upset Missouri, at home the other night.
Big time.
Big win for them. Texas Tech upset Louisville last night. So are the Roos next up on that list? The men's Roos team next up on the list this Saturday?
I just watched a bunch of film on KU today. I feel like was it Rocky IV? Is that movie's probably too Rocky IV? I feel like Sylvester Stallone. I want to throw in the towel early when Apollo Creed fights Drago. KU's really good. They're incredibly well coached. They've got really good players. And I think it's exciting because I think the sprint is almost sold out. So what a great opportunity for our guys. We'll play as hard as we can, and we're going to have to make some shots. You have to earn the opponent's respect when you play a team like KU, and you got to earn the officials' respect early. You got to make some shots in a game like this to give yourself a chance, and if you can't, it can get hairy in a hurry.
Rocky IV, Rocky won. Rocky beat Drago, so I think you can do it. I believe in that. But I'll tell you what, I was wrong about I had Louisville to beat Tech pretty bad last night, and I was wrong about that. But I think I'll be right about this one. I think you guys are going to give them a game. So it should be really it should be really fun. I'll be watching for sure. So, how does this matchup kind of help your program? You talked about it before, like having a tougher schedule, but going more specifically of this matchup right here can help your guys.
Well, I think